Emma from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I realize that I should not study abroad in a mixed university or travel without a mahram as I am now. So upon telling my Muslim parents, they're not letting me return home to their Muslim country without a diploma abroad, nor accepting to study in their residing Muslim country. So if my efforts fail of convincing them, what should I do? Should I trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, book a plane ticket and maybe show at their door? I'm a miskeen in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all praises to Him and those He grants knowledge to. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Wa jazakum. Unfortunately, a lot of our daughters are stuck between a rock and a hard place, especially when their parents are ignorant and not practicing Islam. And a lot of our parents, unfortunately, fit this description. They know of Islam only what is cultural. So Simon says, do this, do that. What is the evidence from the Quran or from the Sunnah? They don't care and they don't comply. And they force their children to do things that go against Islam. So Emma's question is a typical example. Now, she traveled to a foreign Kafir country, unattended, without a mahram, and attending school in a mixed environment. And she is feeling the heat and the pressure of doing these haram things. Now she wants to go back, her parents refuse. And their refusal is in many cases due to our hesitation and being reluctant and weak. When we as children approach our parents in regards of issues of religion, we do this usually in a soft voice, in the sense that in a weak fashion, showing hesitation. This is when the parents put their foot down and insist without any room for discussion. No, you cannot marry this woman. No, you cannot work in that job. And the boy comes and says, Sheikh, what should I do? I said, it's your mistake. If you're financially independent and you have a separate house and you have your own income, don't say, Mom, I think I love to do this. No, no, no. Tell them, I'm marrying this woman. Full stop. If you ask them for their opinion, they will find 100 of faults in her. She's short, she's dark, her family is this, she's uneducated, she doesn't have a job. And you'll never ever marry someone you want. Likewise, if you ask them about what you want to study or what you want to work. But if you put your foot down without any hesitation and tell them that this is what I want, they'll not be happy, but they'll swallow it and accept it. So when you go and talk to your parents, say, Dad, Mom, I am working, I am struggling, so many men, I'm being flirted upon, I am finding it difficult, there's so much fitna, I fear for falling for haram, I have to travel, I have to do this. They would say, no, 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 it's okay, so be strong. 2 more years and you'll manage. They don't think of the consequences. If you go back to them pregnant, it would be a catastrophe. But they come to me and say, Sheikh, she got pregnant, what should we do? She did not get married. I said, who sent her in the first place? Sheikh, we didn't think it's going to reach that stage. Well, now you know. So you have to put your foot down and be firm and confirm to them that I'm not going to do this. This is one option. Second option is to apply or to study wearing your full hijab and niqab and segregate yourself from mixing with the opposite gender. And if it's safe for you to stay there and you keep your distance and you don't allow anyone from the opposite gender to speak to you, or you don't approach them, inshallah, this is a better, and not a better, it's an acceptable solution with your circumstances. Third option is to change from working offline into online. So do your studies online if you can, and do it without going and mixing and staying home. This would be, inshallah, an acceptable solution. And if nothing works, you simply book a ticket, fail your exams, and go back home. Ahnaf from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, what would be the ruling on a person who goes from a Muslim country like Bangladesh to a Kafir country for the purpose of studying?
The scholars say that traveling to a non-Muslim country is, generally speaking, not permissible if there are dangers and risks involved. And if there is a legitimate reason, then this is permissible for a temporary period of time. What are these legitimate reasons? They say, like studying, something that is not found, or the quality of it is not found except in these Kafir countries. So you want to study medicine, and you know that in Bangladesh, medicine is not to a top-notch science that can be taught and gained in there. So you decide to go to UK, to Europe, or to North America, for example. But if you want to study, let's say, business administration or normal things that you can study anywhere, then no, this is not a legitimate reason for you to go and study abroad. Among the legitimate reasons, business. You want to go and buy products, establish companies, get technology for factories, etc. This requires you going to these countries. There's no problem in that. Also, seeking medical help, assistance. So you go there for treatment. In your country or in other Muslim countries, they're not so advanced to reach the level of curing such an illness. You go to such places, there is no problem in that, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Umar from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
Sheikh, I really want to memorize the Quran, Sheikh, but recently I've been struggling with my niyyah, with my intention. I feel like I'm doing it because my parents want me to do it. And Sheikh, yeah, I've been really struggling with it. So is there any advice for me, Sheikh?
Again, I'm going to ask you two questions, Umar, similarly to what I asked one of the brothers before. Question number one. When you want to memorize the Quran and you get whispers doubting your intention, you have one of two options, and correct me if I'm wrong. Either you stop, which means that you obey shaitan, or you continue to memorize it, which means that you disobey shaitan. Is there a third option, Akhi?
No.
In this case, definitely disobey shaitan, continue to memorize the Quran with a twist, and that is to make your intention for the sake of Allah and seeking Allah's pleasure. But never ever obey shaitan and stop doing good things, because this is what shaitan wants from you, and you're smart enough to know that this is not good for your akhirah.